Next, we're going to go through first strike. And there's a couple things I want to talk to you about bow basics before we get started. Most of you guys have grip tape on your bow. Remember, we don't want to hold both hands inside the grip tape because then we can't have powerful strikes. We have little wimpy baby strikes. So we want to be having our fingers on the outside edge of the grip tape. So you're going to be essentially shoulder distance apart. So whenever you're doing a flat straight strike, you're going to have two hands on the grip tape. If your bow is up and down, it's horizontal to the ground, it's going to be on the grip tape. Now whenever your bow is not at a flat line, it's at an angle, that left hand actually is going to be sliding a little bit. So when I'm doing a 45, notice I slide my hand. This hand again, whenever you reverse 45, it slides. If my bow is at an angle, your left hand will not be at the grip tape. The only time your right hand is going to move is when you bring your bow up and you do a push jab. Otherwise, that right hand is going to stay in that exact spot at the same time. Now, for those of you guys following at home, if you're doing a mirror image real quick with me, if you're holding your bow, and I'm going to do a mirror image quick, this is what it should look like, mirror image. So your right hand should be palm facing up, your left hand should be palm facing down. For today's purposes, we're going to be doing it just the normal way, and then we'll actually film it from behind at the end. So, when we bow, let's do it together. We're going to take our right hand, when we put our feet together, guys for me, your right hand is going to go tip down. From here, the tip that is in the sky is going to point forward and to the ground and keep on going until you can't hold on anymore. This is the only time you're going to let go with your bow, with your left hand. So come here, we're going to bow. Now this is an important part. A lot of people make mistakes here. We're going to bring the tip of the bow straight towards the judges. You're going to take your left hand, palm underneath. Now, sometimes you'll see people bring their bow up just like that, but that's not the full motion. What we want to do is we want to take the tip that's pointing towards the judges and point it towards your left shoulder. Then they're going to bring the bow above their head and uncross their wrists. So very similar to a helicopter, reverse helicopter motion, to your chest, and then we're going to step out into a race stance. All right, very good. So section one, we're going to do the same pattern twice as we repeat in many forms. We're going to step our left foot into a front stance, and you're going to bring your right hand to your right shoulder. Go ahead, guys. Now, notice my hands are on the grip tape, my right elbow is up. We don't want our elbow down when we 45 because we have limited range of motion. So we're going to, when we 45, our left hand is going to slide to our left hand. Go. Very good. Now, we're going to hit the same exact angle. Right now we're at a 45-degree angle. You're going to use the other tip of the bow and hit that angle, reverse 45. Go. Still in the front stance. Now, next move's a little bit confusing, but we're going to break it down. So I want you to think about your front hand coming up to do a rising block. When that hand does a rising block, your back hand is going to push the bow forward. Go. Now, helicopter. Before we do our full motion, we need to set our hands because our bow is going to get flat. We're going to bring our bow up, slide your hands together. Now, important that we don't bring our hand behind our head, that just the tip of the bow goes behind the head, we drop it down shoulder level, and then we're going to take a step and strike straight across. This next move is a hook block. We're going to draw a big circle with a tip that's facing towards our target. Now, this is the only move we're going to have two elbows actually bent in our form. Bow comes up, we draw a circle with that front hand, and our elbow comes up. Notice my left hand is on my belt, my right arm is up. You can see my forearm if you're standing straight in front of me. When you get more advanced in this move, you'll start learning how to use your left hand to draw leverage. But for right now, really just worry about, if you're learning the form, drawing the right circle with your right hand. Now, repeat the same section on the other side. We're going to step our left foot. Go ahead with you guys, hold. Notice our elbow is up. And notice the Nolan's in a front stance. So there's this nice straight shoulder, this nice straight line. If I'm looking at Nolan, I just see a dot of the bow. I just see the tip. And go ahead, slide 45 loud again. Go! Very good. They're going to hit the same exact spot with the opposite tip of the bow. Reverse 45. Go! Just like before, the front hand comes up for the rising block and then push the low strike. Go! Nice, good stance, right, Nolan? Oh yeah, bend it down. So, when we're doing first strike, the best thing about first strike is that it's a right-handed weapon. So when we're doing a high block low strike, it's never going to be right hand up, left hand down. It's always going to be left hand up, right hand push. Same thing with the helicopter. The helicopter is always coming over and straight across. We're never going to switch our hands and do it the opposite way. Let's do that helicopter together. I'm going to do it facing towards the camera. I want you guys to do it the same direction that you're going to do it. We're going to bring the bow up, so our hands come to the grip tape. The right tip goes behind the head to the shoulder. down, and stepping the right foot forward, straight across, straight, go. Very good. Draw that big circle hook block. Again, I'm going to do it facing towards the camera so you guys can see that angle, and then they're going to do it towards the direction of the form. So the tip comes up, this top tip draws the circle, and comes around and through. Again, we're doing that towards the right side of the judges. Section 2 is a little bit confusing. We're going to go straight forward towards your judges. The right foot is going to step to the left foot. They're going to fold with the right elbow up. And we're just going to have a little baby bend when we 45 straight. Go. Very good. The 45, we're never going to 45 right and go straight down. It's always going to go across the body of the hip when we do that 45 straight. Now, we're going to step our right foot forward into a front stance and do a helicopter. Let's do it together. It comes up over the head to the shoulder. Step the right foot forward, straight across. We want our bow to be parallel to the ground so it matches that same line. Before we step, we need to do a double strike. This is the first time we're going to do a double strike combination. So you go up and down, and it's going to stay on the right side. So we're going up with our elbow up, go ahead guys, and go right back down. Notice I didn't cross over to the opposite side. They stay on the right side. The next move is a full 45. So we're actually bringing that same tip up and elbow up, and then we're stepping 45. Very good. Now, this is the only kick that we're going to have in the form. This is the only form that you're ever going to do from white belt to black belt currently that doesn't have a round kick or a side kick. Now, Nolan and Emma are going to hold their strike when they front kick. After they recoil though, the bow is going to come over the head, down to the shoulder, and helicopter. Just like every helicopter we've done, bow comes up, right hand, left shoulder, straight across. Ready? Go! Front kick, over the head, and across. Notice how they have this nice straight line. Their tip is not up, it's not down, it's not too far, right in the middle. The next move, we only do it one time in this form. It's called a reverse helicopter. Now, there's two ways that you typically see people do it. They either go this way or all the way across. Obviously, when you look at both of those, the second one is clearly stronger and better. So, let's learn how to do it properly. The front tip is going to come all the way back to your left shoulder. It's going to come over the head, and then we're going to shift into our fighting stance. So we're getting a full strike across. Very good. We're going to learn how to pull back and thrust. Also, a lot of times people call this a stab because we're pulling back and we're striking. Now, Nolan and Emma are going to stay the same direction facing towards you guys. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see some of the details. When we do our pull back forward thrust, you're going to step your front foot back to your left foot. So right foot's going back into like a ready stance. So let's do that first. Everybody go ahead and put your feet back. Now we're going to pull back our bow at the same time. So the bow is going to go straight back behind us. So notice how my bow is straight. It's not crooked. It's making a straight line. Now, one important tip. We don't want our bow to be below. We want our bow to rotate above our shoulders and our hands. The reason why we don't want it to be below is if I'm just doing this towards Nolan, I'm swinging my strike. Much like how we do a punch, we don't swing our punches, we twist and rotate on our punches. So when I'm pulling back to hit Nolan, my wrists now are forced to rotate as I stab. Another important key tip when we do this move is to make sure we're not stepping straight, because now we're in too narrow of a stance, that we're stepping off to the corner with our loud yell. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
And go! Hi-ya! Very good. Now, if you haven't picked it up already, every time we change direction in first strike, we have to do a hook block. Now, this is section number 2. In section number 2, and the rest of the form, we're actually going to have a thrust and a hook block at the end of every part that we change direction. So keep that in mind, that'll help you with your memorization. So, let's do it together. The tip comes up and draw that big circle. Make sure your left hand is on your left hip, your right elbow is up. Now, for the very first time in a form that we have been doing, we are going to do a corner combination. So instead of going straight back or straight forward or side to side, we're going to go to a corner. Now it's important that we understand exactly what we want from that corner. To best define this corner, Miss Emma, I'm going to borrow your bow for a second, please, ma'am. You can just stay there in a stance. This bow is facing straight backwards, right? This bow is facing sideways. Our corner is going to be right in the middle. So a lot of times I see people using their room and where the room is to define their corner. The problem is, depending on where you're standing, if you're not standing in the center of the room and you're hitting the corner of the room, for example, if I'm all the way over here towards the wall in my room, if I'm hitting the corner of the room, I'm almost straight backwards. So you really got to pay attention to where you are in that proportion where you're standing. So Mrs. Fell is standing right at the corner right now. We're going to do a high block low strike. We've done it before, but we haven't done it from a hook position. So important things. We're going to bring this right hand to our body first. So it almost looks like I'm striking down. We're going to slide it, and then we're going to step and push. Otherwise, I see it's like I'm hitting Emma's knee. So I'm not going that way. I am striking below the belt, kind of the same target to the groin like you do in a Japanese round. So let's do it together, guys. We're sliding the bow in, we step and push the low strike. Very nice. Now, we're going to fold 45. Remember, when we fold, our bow goes flat. So the bow comes up, we slide our hands to the grip tape. Go ahead, guys. So hands are on the grip tape, and now we're going to step from 45. So that means that left hand needs to slide again. 45 strike. Very good. Awesome. So we're going to do a jab, jab, thrust. And this time, I'm going to have Mrs. Fell come to the opposite corner so you guys can follow along with us here. It's a little bit tricky, and there's a couple little details that are super important that we don't make mistakes. So, if I bring my bow up to do a jab is kind of like you're playing pool. If you played pool before, you normally put a couple fingers around the pool stick and you push it, right? So it's kind of like you're poking somebody a little bit, right? A little more violent than, of course, than when I poked at Emma, right? So, what we need to do though, if I keep my hand into place and I push that bow, what happens to my control? I'm going to do it towards you guys. I don't have much control. What we want to do is bring that bow into our armpit and then slide the hands. So when I push the bow, it stays against my rib cage when I push. That allows me to have exact accuracy. Wherever my front arm is pointing, that's where that bow is going to go. All right? Let's do it together, guys. They slide the bow into their armpit. They loosen the front grip. Notice, I'm not bending my front elbow. I'm just loosening the grip a little bit. Our backhand pushes. Go ahead, guys. And we're going to pull it back. Now we're going to do a cross stance. We're not going to step behind like we've done in many other forms. You're going to cross your left foot in front and bend into a cross stance. So we're going to step and bend, push, and pull back. Now the last part of this combination is a thrust. We've already done one of those. We're going to twist the wrists. The bow goes above our shoulders and our hands. We're going to step into a front stance. Notice what we just talked about in the last section. Before we change directions, we do a thrust. And what's the last one we do, guys? Hook blocks. And the bow comes up, draw that circle hook block. Very good. Now we're going to go towards where you guys are standing. So this is going toward the back corner again. We're going to bring the bow to our body, step into a front stance, high block, low strike. We're going to repeat the same exact section we did. So we're going to fold 45, the bow is going to come up on the shoulder, hands are on the grip tape, step forward, push and slide. Here comes that jab, jab, thrust. We'll do it right where you're at. Well, that's pretty good. We're going to bring the bow up into our armpit. Again, notice the hand slides into the grip tape. We're going to loosen the front grip, push the bow jab, pull it back. We're going to step and cross stance bend, push, pull back, twist the wrists, and thrust. Real quick while you guys are there, what I want to do for everyone at home is I'm going to actually do that in a mirror image. So, I'm going to do it facing this way, but take your bow just like you're normally holding it. I'm going to flip my grip in case you need extra help. When we do this, the backhand slides to the grip tape. I loosen the front hand, I push, I pull it back. We cross, I push, pull back. Notice I didn't go push and just bring my bow back right away. I finished the second jab, now I pull the bow back. Notice bow is above my wrist and arms. I step and twist thrust. Very good. Now, before we change directions, we have a hook block. All right, guys. Very nice. They're in their nice deep fighting stance. Now, we're going to use opposite corners. So, what we're going to have here is we're going to strike up towards the angle that we're going, and then hit the exact opposite right there. So, what we want to do, you're going to slide your left foot to a ready stance position, and you're going to stab your bow up high into your armpit. Notice the small part of the bow is in my armpit, so it has a nice good home. I'm not going backwards, I'm not going sideways. I'm hitting corner so I can go the exact opposite way. We're gonna lift our left leg up and look the other way, stabbing down. Bring your knee up nice and high. So this almost looks like I could side kick someone in the knee, okay? So we're here, 1, we lift 2, then we have to step, overstepping so we're at the corner in a front stance. When we're doing this, what we want to do is we're going to strike the knee 2 times. So you're going to go, hands are off the grip tape with the left hand, strike 1, back across 2. All right, very good. So now I'm going to have Mrs. Fell come straight forward, so you guys are going to have the same exact view that the judges are going to have. So notice, we are not aiming at the camera right now, we're aiming a little bit to the left side. We're going to bring our front knee up. This is going to look like you're going to chamber and do a front kick, but we're not going to throw a kick. It's more of a lift to protect yourself. We're going to lift that left knee up. Again, pushing the right hand, high left low strike. We are going to step into a front stance hold. Notice the hands slid to the grip tape. Step forward, 45 strike. Awesome. So now the camera's going to come so you guys have a straight view of us. Because this next combination is a 4-strike combination. For the first time in our form, we're doing 4 strikes. We're going to go up on the left side, down on the left side. We're going to go across the body and bring it back across. Now I want you guys to watch my target. My bow is going to be flat, so we're going to bring it up on the left shoulder. Notice, hands are on the grip tape, right? We're going to bring it straight back down. Now, I don't want to hit the same spot when I strike. We need to make sure we strike all the way through. Go ahead, guys. So imagine if I'm fighting Nolan. He's just going to stand there for a second. If I were to keep my bow and strike here, that doesn't fully hit Nolan. We want to go through the target, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now, though, after we did our cross, you're going to shift into a fighting stance and come back in a straight line with your left arm. Fighting stance. Before we change directions, you're going to slide back, pull the bow back. Notice my feet are not together. I don't want my feet together because if I'm facing sideways I get hit, it's very easy for somebody to knock me out balance. We're going to be shoulder distance apart, but we're going to step to our corner, so we're going to get front stance and hi-ya! Bow comes up, big circle hook block. Now when you get better at that, it'll float all together. We'll work on that when you get more advanced. We're going to step our right foot, feet together. You're going to bring your left hand to your right shoulder. So if you remember how we did our bow before, this is the same exact position. My right hand is down by my leg, my left hand is on my shoulder. This is actually blocking, potentially, like a helicopter strike right to Nolan's head. So we want to think of this as a block and pulling this left hand through to the shoulder. We're almost done. We have a short little section to the front, then we're finished. We're going to bring our right hand to our right shoulder, stepping your right foot forward, 45 in a front stance. Now we have a 3-strike combo. So a lot of times in advanced belts, when they start doing lots of forms, or even purple belts, we got to remember we have to do our 4-strike combo before we do our 3-strike combo in the end. So we're going to go up on the left shoulder, hands are on the grip tape, down on the left shoulder. We're keeping our hands on the grip tape over our head to our shoulder, straight across helicopter. The second to last move is a high block low strike. We've done it many of times, but we're going to slide into what we call a cat stance. So the front foot's going to come up, and we're coming to the ball of our foot. When we do that, notice the tip of the bow goes to the sky behind me, and we push. So we have leverage in our strike. The last move, you're going to bring your bow up. Hands are on the grip tape because we're folding. The right foot is going to take a slight step back forward where we just were. You're going to drop your back knee, slide 45. Very good. Stepping your left foot forward, we're going back to burrow, righty stance. And trip, and we do this fast, but we're going to do it slow together again to keep it together. No one did it fast, that's okay. Do it again fast if you know. Trip. Come here back. Chumbi ready stance. Em and I are going to do it slow so you guys can do it with us. Feet together. We bring the right hand down, the left hand comes up like that block. The tip that is facing the sky is going to push towards the judges. Push to the ground. All the way until you can't hold on. Triet, this is our attention stance. Come here bow. And let's do our ready stance together. We come back, over the head, unwind, ready stance burrow. So, first strike's a complicated form. We will also show you guys with a view from behind. So if it's like you're in class, and it's almost like you're looking straight forward towards the person who's in front of you.